All right, so the question is, what do you know about a human hand? What do you know about a human hand anatomy? So in this lesson, we're going to be trying to model a human hand. Now, sculpting, character modeling, the fundamental issue is to understand human anatomy. So we've been trying to put a human character onto a fish, which is the same thing which you can do to a bottle or a tomato. As long as you can somehow put a face on anything, as long as you can put a face on anything, you will turn it into a character. So the method we have explored with the fish, same method you're going to work with mostly on any other object. So you just need to figure out where your eyes are supposed to be, and then you just extrude the eyes in, draw some clear lines here and there, and you have a character. It doesn't actually take much, as long as you know the human anatomy. So the fundamental issue is to know the anatomy. So when you talk about bottles, something really. As long as you have a mouth and eyes, or maybe some arms, you're going to see. Now, notice that on the fish, we have learned how to do maybe the eyes and the mouth somehow, but most characters are going to find they have hands. That's another feature which makes people believe that a character is a character by it having hands and legs. That's why we're going to model a hand and some feet or some foot. Now, a human hand anatomy is pretty simple. This is, of course, medical, but you can have a good idea of it. So it has 5 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, unless you have 6. I don't know. Are there people with 6? So, meaning it's actually a very simple thing to model. A hand is one of the simple things you're going to find that to model. So you just have to figure it out. As you go along, you figure out that you have a sort of a cube here, and on the cube on the side you have that thumb. Then the other, just pull them out on the other end. So you're going to end up using very limited tools. Let's close this and open our Maya. File, save as. We are not doing fish modeling, we are doing hand modeling. This is hand modeling. So this one is to take 1. This is not take 1 like that thing in the movies. So this is not an arm. We are modeling a hand, like the 4 parts, but of course you can go all the way to the hand to include the elbow and everything at the shoulder, but we shall come to that. Normally, when we are modeling characters, as I told you earlier, we tend to model characters in pieces. It is a method which enables you to save time and not overstrain. Because you might have a shirt coming from the shoulder all the way to maybe the elbows. So you model it alone, then you model the arm, the forearm alone from the fingers to the elbow. Then you take that and kind of push it inside the shirt, then you group it. So a character doesn't have to be like it is fully like a human unless you are modeling a medical character. But if you're not modeling a character for purposes of medical, usually we model only what the camera sees. What the camera doesn't see, we don't model it. Alright, so I'm going to model, of course, a hand off head. In others, I'm going to freestyle it. I have done this a number of times, so I don't need much reference. I know technically how a hand looks like, you know. So I might go with this. So I'm going to model the hand facing downwards, not upwards, and I'm going to model the left. So I'll begin with a cube polygon, something that simple. Make it bigger with a scale tool and flatter because the human hand is flat. Like that. Bring it up to top, maybe about here. Now, by design, this I've already sort of created a part of a human hand. The palm and the back of the palm. Already created, that's it. This is the back, and this is the palm. This is where the fingers are going to be, and this is where we shall pull out our what? Guys, our thumb will come from here, then the rest of the fingers will come over there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, insert Edge Loop tool. I have a shortcut here. Bring it up. So I want how many fingers to come out of this here? Yeah, here we're going to pull out 4. So I'm going to get 3 lines or 4, I'm not sure, and add them here. What I want is to have 4 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have you seen that? Then this side, I want to pull out 1. So I'll switch to 1, kind of put it in the middle there. I think we shall come off from here, depending, we shall see. So this is all I'm going to need, really. This is all I'm going to need. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, I need to know that the hands are not equal. The fingers are not equal. As you can see, they're all of different. Let me switch to better images that don't scare people. Is this better? The other scare people. So I'm trying to model something where something like this actually, where the hand is facing down. So we normally model the character in a T form like this. So we tend to have the fingers facing downwards. So the longest finger is this middle finger. The rest of them are measured off that. So I might pull that first. So I'm going to select that face and go to faces, select that face, this face. I think this is the pinky. No, this is let me see. This is the pinky. This is the ring finger. Hello. This is the middle finger. This is what? Which finger is this? The pointer finger. Is this called the index? Yes, this is the index. It's called the index finger, not pointer finger. So pinky, ring, middle. So the tallest of all of them, is this one. So, and a finger has how many divisions? 1, 2, and so we're going to make 3 divisions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to extrude, move tool, and pull. Maybe up to there. Not so. And I'll go to my scale tool and scale it a bit like that. Maybe not. Depends if you're modeling a real hand or a cartoony hand. A cartoony hand would be looking a bit different, but I'm going to try to model something of 50-50. Double click, get your 2 lines here, Equal distance, 1, 2, 3. Are you with us? Okay, so the next longest finger would be the ring, the index. So I'll go to this one, and I'm going to extrude it. Extrude is here. Move it, and it will stop around. Usually it stops about here. Not so? Guys, are we together? And it tends to also be a bit smaller, but it will curve off a bit this side. But I'll first leave it at that. Then I go to my insert edge loop tool, and I'll put 2. Just like that. Then I'll go to the next tallest. Faces, right click, go to faces. This face here, extrude. This is the ring finger. It's not the same height exactly, actually. The ring finger is slightly taller than the index. It's usually about there, if I'm not mistaken. It's like 1 inch. So I can go to edges, double click on these edges. I can push them a bit behind. Okay. See, that's why the human anatomy becomes important, because it should look a bit believable. Then double click on this 2. If I do that, let me first make it a bit smaller. I think it's taking the show. If some fingers are bigger than the other in your version, please ensure that happens. Then I'll go to faces, go to the pinky. The pinky usually goes extrude. Same process, extrude. I think the pink goes all the way to about the middle of this one. About there. Depends, it's never that accurate. And it also has 3 divisions. 3 divisions. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that should do the trick. Now what I'm going to do, I can pull this one a bit out, a bit like that. Oopsie. I just want to pull him a bit out like that. So this is sculpting now. Even this one tends to come out a bit at these points here. Not so? Guys, not so? Yes, so or not so? So. Okay, so I'm going to get these and sort of take them a bit up. Maybe this one actually. So if I look at, I can keep looking at my hand. I think it has a bit of that there. Let me see if I can get that in. Maybe a bit like that. With the faces. Guys, is that working? And then the palm here will go in a bit. I think let's use the edges here. Put them a bit in like that, a bit. By the same time, I can start with something low poly and go on to something more dramatic. Okay. What we can do, we shall put something in the middle there. Let me see, should I extend this, all of it forward? I'm not sure, but what I know, I can get this faces, right click, go to faces, and extend it a bit behind by extruding, so that I can start scaling it in to make a sort of arm. Extrude again to make a sort of an arm, but of course it's not yet looking like an arm. So I'll come here and grab also this. I think, is that right? I hope that's right. I think I can bring it back a bit, because this way I want to pull out my index finger, sorry, my thumb. So I'm going to extrude my thumb from here like this. Actually, there's a very big gap between the thumb. There's a very big gap. I don't know if I should pull it from here. There's a very big gap. I feel like also that's very far. Yeah? How is that? Does that feel right or what? Feels right, eh? Okay, so as you can see, we begin with something low poly, then we keep getting deeper and deeper. Okay, that's not happening. We don't want that to happen. So sort it very quickly. If you see doing that, it means there are some vertices which are 2, 2. So this should be 2, but they are 4. Have you noticed that? 2, 2. So these are 4. We merge them. Let me see if there is also another. These are 2. That's okay. These are 4. I don't know why it's doing that. Merge. 4, merge. 4, merge. Oh, these are 2, sorry. 2. They should be 2, not 4. So you check them from time to time, eh? Sometimes Maya glitches a bit. Okay, that should be a trick. So I'm going to grab this and this, and extrude like that. Usually the thumb is much bigger, and I'll make it a bit smaller like that. And I will extend this a bit forward. Before I do that, let me add some lines, because it also has 3 parts. 1, 2. It has sort of 3 parts. I think I will first add 1. Okay, so normally the thumb will twist inwards a bit like this. Then we bring this a bit in like this. Okay, then make this a bit smaller like that. I think we might need to complete this line here to make the three points. It's a bit confusing there, but the hand is coming. The hand is coming. It's coming out. I'm just having a little trouble assessing. Yeah, I think it's okay there. I think it's okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. If I select these ones here and I take them a bit up, that should help also a bit some more. This is the left hand, so it should be more curved outwards this side, especially this joint here. Comes in a bit there. These ones go in a bit. Oh yes, oh yes. It is happening. Not too tall. All right. I think it's working out for us. It's working out for us. You don't have to make it so realistic. Save. This thumb is still bothering me. I feel like we could have done better. There's so many lines hanging, not going anywhere. So I might need to do some serious editing there. But before I do that, so we have a palm here that's nicely coming along. And we have these other fingers there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add one line in the middle, across like that. What this line helps to do is it enables you to pull them out a bit. Like that, like that, like that, and like that. And helps to hold them a bit more so that they are more realistic. The thumb is still feeling a little funny, so we shall, let's hope I didn't begin from very far. It feels too big. Let's see, can we manipulate a bit more? I think normally it's supposed to be the same height anyways. Okay. I wonder what would happen if we got our mouth cut tool and drew a line from here to here to here to here and brought it back the side. I wonder what would happen. Then the same thing here. Cut, 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 cut. Press enter, such that we'll remove these lines. Let's see. I want to remove some lines. Like this line doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And this one and this one. Can we remove them? Edit mesh, delete vertex edge, repeat. remove. Okay, remove and remove. Not bad, but something is missing. Yep, I think something is missing. Let's go back to our multicut 2, add a line there, add another line there. Let me go step by step. This multicut 2 will come in handy from time to time. I just want this thing to have, this finger to have a flowing line there. There, now that's flowing. Oh yes, oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. So that's clean. I can work with that. I can work with that. And even now we have something like this and something like this, and even we have something like this, and even here we have something like this. Oh yes, that feels right. It shouldn't be so flat on the top either, but I shall come back to that. Save. That's a good hand. Come and continue extruding, continue pulling on the side and on the side and on the side. Sometimes it's better to pull individual pieces to avoid any funny thing. Vertices. So I'm sculpting, there's no particular order. I'm just seeing whatever is protruding in a funny way is what I sought. Protruding in a funny way is what I sought. So from a simple cube to, you know, a hand, you get there eventually. So I want to go back to edges and keep using my move tool to move them a bit out so that they have that roundedness. As much as the natural things are not perfect cylinders, but we need to give them some roundness. Even this one, so that feels right. So that feels right. So human fingers are not exactly round, but they are there. Okay. Now what we're going to do, you know, fingers have those lines, those ones, where the joints are, you know them, we are going to add some three lines at our own pace. Double click on our insert edge group tool, relative. So we want to add a line and a line. Sorry? A line and a line. I think there's up there and there are only two, this one and this one, this one and this one, this one and this one, this one, Ctrl Z, this one and this one, this one, and here, here, and here. Right. So if you feel, let me see, I think I want to pull these ones a bit out. Vertices, sorry, Ctrl Z. Vertices, these vertices here, using a move tool, I want to move it out a bit. I don't want it to be so dramatic. Yeah, this thumb situation, eh? Sometimes it's very difficult to tell how a thumb is. Let's look at references. Where the thumb? So the thumb comes out a bit, then drops. Eh? Comes out a bit, then drops. It actually first comes out a bit before it drops, but it does it a bit behind here before it drops. Yep. I don't want it to be so big. It's bothering me when it's so big. It's so big. Keep referencing. Yep, I think I can add a line in between here. I can safely add a line in between here and sort of provide more room, more wiggle room for the finger, for the thumb. Okay, so I needed that bump there. If you feel it's too tall, you can always select more stuff and pull it in a bit. Yeah, the thumb tends to be a little fat compared to the rest of the hand, and you can pull some things down here so that it kind of feels right. Okay, fine. So be it. Just keep pulling just a bit. Now, save. Let's go to the real deal, real business. Let's not forget to give the thumbs its own lines. As we can see there, it's happening. All right, so how do we make it feel more like the hand? What happens is that this middle line here, you're going to pull it up a bit so that it makes a curve down here. It makes a sort of a curve down here, but a bump up there. Oh yeah, people are nodding. They agree, eh? Okay. Same thing. Just a little bit of a nudge. It kind of does the trick. Yeah, sometimes I take so long without doing this. But when you're modeling, it comes to you because it's a bit fun. Sure, you disagree, eh? It's fun. So you tend to have, let us move this so that you can see. See that? George, is that you laughing? Don't you like my hands? Not compare the fish. This is easier. Eh? This is easier, guys. But we shall get back there. Okay, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember very well, we would select either edges or vertices and pull the ones at the top a bit inside. Eh? We are coming to that. Eh? In Luganda we say nsumulula osuna ebiika byoyagala, as in opening the polythene and you're pinching it because you're eager. Do you want them to pour? You want the material to pour? I'm coming to that. I'm just joking. Okay. There and there. I want to pull this a bit in. Okay, so you see, there will be small errors like that from time to time. Eh? Just be mindful of them. Just be mindful of them. I don't know what happened to that. Let me investigate it. I don't know what that is. And it goes all the way there. I wonder. So it can be glitches sometimes. You see there? When you find it, fix it. Fix it by merging the vertices so that you discontinue it. That's okay. I think it's okay now. Yeah, I think it's okay now. That's okay. Are we having some problem here? Seems to be okay. So what I'm trying to do is get these top things, because this feels a bit strange when this entire thing is this long. So it doesn't work like that. Usually it's at the top here only. It doesn't go through so much to the bottom. If you want these bits down here to be more visible, you can pull them a bit further in. But the reason why we don't want to do that is because eventually when you go to UV unwrap and then paint, you can paint in those things, those slashes. You see those black slashes there? Those you can just paint them in, as long as you have provided yourself a room. Like you know where they're supposed to go. So we know they are supposed to go under there, so I don't have to make them so pronounced, because when I go to paint them eventually, I can just paint some physical things on there so that somebody sees their folds there. Okay, so I want to continue doing this and this and this. Pull them a bit in, and so and so and so on. I'm not going to do all of them. You get the idea. I want to get what Alvin is asking about the fingernails. Alvin, I'm going to give you some fingernails there. So you can repeat that over and over and over to make sure they feel a bit right. So come to this dude also. Double click on him. For him, given his facing the other one, you kind of put it a bit in there. So that is, he has that nudge there. If it's not visible enough for you, you can just select only the two and nudge him a bit further down there, so that it stands out. Then this one actually does not nudge very much, but sort of a little bit. Not so much, but a little bit. But I think it also comes out on the other end a bit. There. I think it's working a bit. Not the best, but it's working a bit. So it's lifted here a bit and slopes down there. Just look at the hand usually works. So the rest of the details you can paint them in. Now let's look at some fingernails. Let's start with this one. So for the fingernails, they will be slightly above. Depends on how long somebody's fingers you want them to be. So I'll put mine about here. Let's see. Yeah, there's some distance between this last bit. Fingernails usually come fingernails. Where is fingernails? Fingernails. So usually there's a bit of a distance between the fingernails, and then the fingernail stops here. There's a distance in between, and then there's that other space. So we know in between here there's a bit of distance, so we can put them over here. By design, fingernails tend to be equal on all fingers. They're usually not so different. So this will be a bit here. Okay, so I'm going to come to this faces. Click here and extrude. I hope I remember how we used to do it. I'm going to extrude inwards like that. Inwards, then where? Then extrude again, if I'm not mistaken, a bit upwards slightly. I've just put it slightly so that I go to edges after that and pull this edge up a bit like that. Then pull it over. That should create for you a sort of a fingernail. So that the other small nudge, it means I can come and define that fingernail a bit like this and like that. When I add lines there, I can even add lines outside here so that it stands out. If I want it to stand out more, it can stand out more like that. Let me see, I can add some lines here to hold it at the bottom, but it feels a bit weird. Huh? It feels what? Doesn't? It feels a bit weird. It feels like the guy is sick. So maybe I should add the line outside. Sometimes I don't know what's going to happen. Then let me see if I can add another one here. No, that's going to destroy my finger. Yeah, fingernails can tend to be annoying. Let me Ctrl Z a bit. So what I'll do, I'll maybe make the ones at the bottom a bit inside like this, so that it stands out at the top there. Then this one I can pull it in a bit like this. Let me see. I'm over engineering. Hope I'm not overdoing it. I want it to stand out for me. I'm overcompensating. The nail is too tall. Let me undo that. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. I think I have an idea of what we should be doing. I'm repeating this. Pay attention. Select the face, extrude in, I want this one to be, go to edges, I want this edge to be a bit smaller, extrude it again, upwards slightly, such that you kind of lift off the other one with the edge, like that. So I was thinking that maybe I should take this line here, extrude it forward, extrude, move to, and bring it a bit forward. That might give us a better fingernail, I hope. I don't want them to feel like they're not cut. Then I can, I'm trying to work with the best method possible, so bear with me. I want to hold these ones. I feel like they're going off too much on the side. I want them to be indoors, still going off. Okay, if they're still going off, I want to hold them in with a line like this and one like that. Yep. I think that makes a better nail. A nail should look a bit close, something like that. Yeah, I think this would make a better nail, but still too big for my taste. Feels like it's unmatured, eh? It's going to what? I want it to be a bit inside. Okay, that should do a trick for now. I don't like nails sometimes. They make the finger look a bit strange, eh? They make the finger look a bit strange, but we shall see. And they're even bothering my line here. I don't know how this line ended up down here. Look at that line. I don't know what happened. This line should be in the middle. I don't know why it's down there. Yeah, should be in the middle there. Okay, so let's try to repeat this again. This one, extrude inwards like that. Extrude again, slightly. Get to the edges, because before we'd actually pull it out a bit like this and then leave it there. Yeah, actually that tends to do a better job. Let me first add in a line and I see. Sometimes it's not happening for us very well. depending on the method, but I think this will do a better job. Yep, I'm buying this more than this. Oof, thank God. I'm buying that a bit better. And yep. Let me first do this, guys, and I missed this other fingernail. Come on, undo. I have mine do at infinity. If the model is clean enough, it should be able to undo all the way. There you go. Don't be afraid to repeat things. It should be a bit in the middle. Now, what did I just do? I did extrude on this face. I think they would kind of pull it inside a bit, in it even a bit more, like that. Then extrude again. Move it up a bit, not too much though. Then go to edges and pull this edge forward to create a sort of a nail. So what I want to do is get this one. Sometimes you have to get some ideas before you even progress. Get these ones, and I want to add the line to hold this. Let me see if I add a line outside, it will make a difference. Yeah, I think there are people with such fingernails. Add another one, add another line in between here. To make it stand out. Yeah, I think I buy that better. Feels manicured, not weird. Now that one, I can pull it forward. If I wanted, I could pull it forward a bit further. Guys, the faces I'm dealing with are small, but I know they exist in my head. Maybe I should just extrude. I should just extrude this one. Extrude. Let me see if extrude works. No, extrude brings back that thing I don't like. So I'm going to leave mine like that and repeat the process. Extrude in. Like that. Extrude again. Upwards. Not too much. Grab a bit. Drag it a bit forward like that. With the edge loop, go to your insert edge loop tool. Add a line a bit here and about there. Smooth to see if what you're doing is making sense. Yep, I'm buying. Go to the next one until when you've done with all of them, but I don't have to do all of them. Extrude again. I'm extruding twice, guys. Extrude again to bring it down, then extrude again. Let me repeat that so people see. Extrude, face, scale tool, extrude again is what I'm doing, but I'm using some shortcuts on my keyboard, that's why some people might get lost. But what I'm doing is just extrude several times. And push this one ahead. Then just go to your insert edge loop tool, a shortcut here which we'll put here earlier. Put a line there, put a line here. Those lines are just holding the faces. Those lines are just holding the faces. So depending, sometimes when I model my characters, I don't give them fingernails. I just leave them alone. But since it's part of the anatomy, I'll do so. Save, please don't forget to save. Extrude, scale, extrude again, move to, move this one a bit ahead. You can also get a face in between here. Select a face and scale it a bit inside to make sure it can help to make sure that the fingernail is smaller and wider at the top. Then you get your insert edge loop tool and add some lines to hold the faces, to hold the shape really. Then you can add one in the middle here. I think we need to add one in the middle here to just hold those, just support those shapes that they come out, so that you have interesting fingernails. They're not the best, but it does the job until when you get better at modeling. So for this one, I think I'll actually add another line. I didn't add a line for this. Insert edge loop tool. Add the line there. Insert the edge loop there. Faces. Select that face. Extrude. I'm going through the same tools over and over. There. Extrude again. Move to. Move this side. And not too much. And then edges. I'm moving it out a bit, like that. You can make it smaller at this side with the scale tool. Then add some lines. I've repeated this process over and over intentionally so that you know that I'm doing the same thing over and over. Then add one line there to make sure you have yourself a nice. This one came out a bit better. That could have been bigger, maybe. Feels a bit weird. Okay, so sometimes what I do, I remove these faces. You can select one by one, actually. Shift select one by one if you want. Though the quick up method is select everything, shift down, hold down shift, deselect, so that you kind of come quickly. Just want the arm open for further modeling later. So this basically makes a hand. Sorry. It's a basic hand really, but most characters are not going to have anything that complicated. They're going to have this kind of hand anyways. They're going to have, and the lines, as you can see, there are so many. So when you rig it, eventually you'll be able to wiggle it. But as you can see, we've got ourselves a nice simple hand. So the arm, you just pull over that and you're good to go.